Oh yeah, that's been happening a lot. Oh no. Uh, David. David would probably, I know King David from Iron Lord's podcast, probably go down a rabbit hole on this site. He collects this type of stuff. Yeah, he be like every week he unveils like a new collector's item. Yeah, you hear me? Y'all hear me? Oh, okay. Yeah, I just said that. Yeah. Yo, Luke. Me? Um, Me either. Hold on. That's weird. I don't know why Luke. Jack, hold on, Jack. Jack, can you hear me? Luke can't hear me. What the hell? Let me leave and come back into. Luke, you hear me now? That's weird. Contra, tell him to leave and come back. Tell Luke to leave and come back. That's weird. Luke, you hear me now? Okay. Yeah, yeah. Right before what you said, I was like, yeah, I was like, King from Iron Lords will go crazy on this site. Hmm. Looks high quality too, even though I'm not a collector. Chat only, we don't hear nobody else. That's weird. Hold on. Bro, you know this PC stuff. I haven't changed no settings. Why can't they hear nobody else? Weird. Hold on, hold on. Discord chat. Yeah, Discord chat is up. Hold on, hold on. Hold on. What the heck?
3. Nightmare mode is bullshit.
How close you are to the platinum on that?
I got the last trophy I got is S rank Inferno mode, but I gotta beat it Nightmare before I even get to Inferno. S ranking it is not gonna be easy though.
I heard in the higher difficulties, I haven't played it myself yet, but I heard that like Nemesis gets more aggressive and faster.
Bro, it's way more enemies, yo. Like this is insane. I'm not having fun so far. Let me see. Open it.
How many times you die?
Oh, which one? I just started this whole playthrough. This shit ridiculous though,
Oh
yo.
man. Final Fantasy VII been getting me in trouble with the wife. It's bad news out here, bro. 7 hours a day since it came out. Yeah.
That's
Bro,
That's
what?
how you know it's a great game when your wife get mad at it.
She's not liking this, man. She's not liking this. I ain't gonna lie. I've been sneaking. I've been getting up 6 o'clock in the morning to play this game, bro.
I did that when I was working, but now that I'm not like having to get up and we work from home, I don't mess with that anymore.
It's somebody behind me. Are you fucking joking, yo?
Yeah, it's
Up at 6 a.m. That's crazy.
yeah, and I can't tell you the last time I've done that for a video game, or let alone played it 7 hours a day every day since it came out. Yeah, bro, it's something else. It's different. It's different.
I see you forgot to equip your electric materia on that robot boss. I was like, this RPG god.
Which one? Which one are you talking about? No, because I mean, you don't know which boss is coming up, so like that's the thing. I'm trying to level up all my materia, but you don't know who's coming up, and you can't change materia in the middle of boss fight. So I was like, damn.
No, of course not. Why would you be able to?
I know. So that's why I had to like kind of like go back. I was like okay, I'm fighting this boss now.
Did materia have levels in the last game?
Yes, it does have. You do level them up the same way. They work exactly the same as the original game, but I'm sure we're gonna get into more.
Yeah. Materia is it's a lot of it is the same, but it's very different.
Oh yeah, you level them up, but you don't learn anything for leveling them. You don't like learn it forever.
I'm so jealous.
No, not mastered.
Everybody got their damn copy already. Mine's still not here.
Damn.
Yeah.
Where you order from?
What?
Amazon.
Damn.
Well, the stuff improves in the material.
I knew she was gonna say Amazon before she said it.
That's the thing, though. Like with the Resident Evil 3, I got that a day before, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, this is awesome. And now it backfired because now everybody has it.
Big difference between those two games.
But then when I look back on there,
and now they're remaking 4. Apparently, they're skipping.
Yeah, that's fire. I'm ready for that.
I don't think we need it 4 because they already put it on for the PS4. If anything, I thought they was going to do like Hope Veronica.
It's going to be watch it be just the same damn game, just remade graphics. It'll be the same exact game.
I think they're gonna take some shit out.
I think they'll clean it up a little bit because they got a little crazy in that castle. That castle was ridiculous.
Yeah, that castle ain't gonna be as long as it is now, yo.
Better not be. Goodness.
It should.
I think it's weird because even though I've beaten that game so many times, it's like my most recent time beating it, I was like, I don't remember the castle being this long. Like
yeah,
it took 10 times. It took 10 times for me to realize, yo, this castle kind of long. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, I did that on GameCube, and it's like I remember that distinctly being like, "What are my thumbs doing?" Because that controller was so weird. I was exhausted.
Not as weird as PlayStation, because that's when I played it on it.
It was a weird remake. I played that thing on Wii U, or no, not Wii U, Wii, when they did that remake. That was actually the best way to play it.
I heard the Wii version is the best version.
Version is crazy.
Huh.
All right, let's do these intros so we can get right to it. Weapon Wheel Podcast, episode 232. We would appreciate it if you hit that like button. We are on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. Check out the Weapon Wheel Patreon and hit the like button to support. If you hit the join button below the video, you can become a member and use the exclusive emotes and get a chat badge next to your name. And also you can submit videos, submit gameplay to be featured in the background of the Weapon Wheel Podcast. So if you want to do that, just send me an email and I'll give you the directions from there. So let's do these intros. Luke, tell the people about your, everything about you.
Oh, what's up, guys? I'm Luke Lore, the Insipid Ghost. I host a weekly podcast called the Xbox Expansion Pass, where I look at the gamerverse from an Xbox perspective analytically, and then I bring in guests from all over the industry, like Steven Spawn of Fable Gamers, Andrea Renee of What's Good Games, and Rebecca Valentine of GamesIndustry.biz to talk about their craft and just expand our viewpoints and knowledge on the gaming industry. So I do that weekly. It's on all your podcast services. Xbox Expansion Pass.
Awesome. I got to check that out.
Is that
Check
expansion
out.
pass free, or does it come with DLC and loot boxes?
They're called surprise mechanics, and nah, of course,
check
yeah,
that
it's
out.
free. Go check it out. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, man. It'd be
No,
awesome if you guys-
you know, we're getting X and Xbox, you know, personnel here, so I'm definitely gonna check that out.
And you're Insipid Ghost on Twitter, right?
Yeah, and Insipid Ghost on Twitter and Xbox Live and all the jam. Yeah.
All right. Chris.
Yo, what's going on, people? You know, I'm back here again. Happy to be here again, talk about these topics. Wishing a happy Easter to everybody. You know, shout out to the God, Jesus Christ. And let's get
All right. Jack move.
What's good, everybody? Hope everybody having a good week. What's going on?
Jimmy.
Yo, what's up, man? J Mega Games. Things are starting to look a little bit better in the city of New York. Everybody, hope you're enjoying your Easter.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ!
All right.
Damn time.
All
What's
right.
going on in New York?
I mean, we have we're kind of like ground zero again.
Oh no.
Yeah, for this thing.
Looking like the division out there.
Yeah, pretty much is. Jimmy, turn your mic up just a little bit. You were sounding just a little low.
Is it good now?
Say something.
Is it good now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're better. Oh yeah, and I had you turned down a little bit. Okay, you're good.
right.
Bond.
What's going on, everybody? So I've noticed there's a feature on YouTube where you can make it members only can comment. If only we can make it only people that hit the like button could comment. That'd be
Oh,
Oh
great.
yeah, everybody would hit it.
That'd be a
It'd be
great
two people
thing.
in the chat, yo.
That'd be
Oh,
a
man.
great thing.
Do you really think people would like leave instead of hitting the like button if they needed to talk? Like something as easy as that? Would they do it? I really don't know.
Some people would.
I would love to see that happen. But outside of that, you know, just finished Legend Heroes Trails from Zero. Big shout out to Geofront. I know they spent like 7 years translating that, and I finished it in a week. But hey, man, hopefully we can get some more games. I got the second Crossbow game, then the whole Cold Steel series right in front of me.
Right? Smooth.
Oh, what's up, everybody? It's the Best Bot. Happy Resurrection Sunday to everyone.
Hey.
I know one thing not resurrected.
What's that?
We can talk about it later.
You already know he looking for ways to take shots at the Xbox.
I literally thought you were gonna say that, man. I was about to be like, Jack, don't be like that.
Wow, I wasn't even thinking like that. That's crazy.
You wild. All right. So,
You know what we should do? We should start like timing people out until we get X amount of likes.
and you know it ain't gonna work.
How about random people?
Time out the whole chat.
Oh shit! you could just turn the chat off. I think, right?
Sounds like fascism.
You know what? That's actually a good idea. We turn off the chat until we hit X amount of likes.
Ooh, that's fire.
Wow.
What? I
Mm.
mean, the chat could be petty, but dang.
We can be
Hey,
petty
we
back.
can be petty too. Shit.
All right, so there's a few big topics that happened this week, few smaller ones. So let's just get right into the one of the biggest ones. Sony revealed the PlayStation 5 Dualsense controller. A lot of people don't like that name. They're still going to call it the DualShock. But just to run down the features of the DualSense, some of these we learned about already: haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, rechargeable battery. The create button replaces the share button. Built-in
USB-C.
Yeah, USB-C. Built-in microphone array. Light bar is now on the side of the touchpad. Better battery life. And the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack is also still there. They revealed the color, the white on black. People didn't like the color. I'm not a fan of it. Some people liked it.
I need black on white.
I need black on black.
Yeah, and then after that, a whole bunch of people photoshopping their own colors and designs onto it, which look really good, by the way, ensued. But let me get y'all thoughts on it. The color, the overall design, the features. What do y'all think about all this?
I didn't like the color. It just reminded me of a 360 controller in general, but I prefer black. And I did like some of the designs that people have posted on Twitter. When you mentioned the better battery life, how is it better compared to the PS4? Like, do you already have?
You don't got to burn the light
specs on
bar.
it?
The light bar doesn't burn the battery.
Yeah, it's
I mean, what is the
slimmer.
time frame? Do y'all know?
They won't say. All they said, they use very vague words when they said better battery life, but they're not going to give us an exact time yet. We don't know.
Okay. Well, damn.
I liked it. I thought it looked really good. I like that it's different because it looks way different than the PS4 style, even though it kind of keeps that same trajectory. It goes differently. I like the color palette. Those mock-ups were incredible. I agree with Vic though. Black on black did look the best in that whole slew, but I love that classic PS1 color scheme that people were throwing around there. I thought it looked cool.
Jack,
Indeed,
thoughts?
I agree with what everybody else said. Looks nice. I'm only concerned I got is how much one of those standalone gonna cost. I know that shit gonna be at least $80, yo. Like,
Yeah, it's gonna
not
be like
sure.
$80.
yeah, replacing one of them joints ain't gonna be fun, but it looked nice.
$50 for a controller.
I just want to see how they're gonna implement, the haptic feedback and all that instead of having to rumble.
How much does an Xbox One and a PS4 controller cost now?
Like $50-$60.
It's like $65 before tax.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a fan of I just didn't like the color because nothing in my setup is white. I don't know if most people don't have anything in their setup that's white, so that's my main problem. But I mean, every console usually has multiple colors on their controllers eventually, or at least at launch. The controller does seem to be it's a little bit more thicker than the PS4 controller, not significantly, but it's like they widened it out and made it a little bit longer. Also,
I think something's wrong with the stream. They keep saying it's cutting in and out.
Is it?
It's fine by me. That's because I haven't hit the like button enough. That's probably why.
Man,
If you get 200 likes, we'll raise the bit rate.
I mean, mine is telling me that it's stable. Let me lower the bit rate for maybe it's some people. Let me lower the bit rate. Yeah,
the nice thing about that controller is it's different than the Xbox overall, so it makes it look different. There's a fundamental difference between the Series X controller and the DualSense. I like that.
Yeah, because it's the most different that PlayStation controller has looked since the PS1. I actually like the color schemes. I mean, I understand people prefer like the all black, but sometimes you gotta switch it up every now and again, which lets me know that the console is probably going to be white and black most likely. And yeah, just like Buddy was saying, the Xbox controller and the Series X console, that looks like more of an extension of the Xbox One family. PlayStation, they look like something completely new, something completely next generation, in my opinion.
I got a quick question.
Go ahead.
What up?
Do we know whether or not we'll be able to utilize the PS4 controllers we already have for the PS5?
Yes.
I have customized. Yeah. Okay, cool. Because I already have 3. I don't want to have to buy a PS5 controller if I don't have to.
Oh, so the PS4 controller works with PS5. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know
it's
that.
just like
I do think it looks a lot like
work on PS3, but not vice versa, correct?
I do think it looks a lot like an Xbox One controller, despite what y'all say, but that's not the thing. What I do like about it, which I didn't hear no one say yet, is that it has an onboard mic. I'm curious about that technology. I think that's pretty dope.
Oh yeah.
But, I'm kind of wondering how that's gonna work. Like when you don't have a headset on, though, like will it be picking up the gameplay in the back or something like that? But
they say you weren't gonna be able to hear it. I
believe that. I believe that they have tech like that. So
Well,
I
it
do
says
believe
that,
that,
yeah, they said they have the noise canceling technology, but noise canceling technology ain't always, the best. It doesn't usually cancel out everything. It lowers it.
Some of it usually they have tech that actually works pretty well for that. That's not that expensive. But that's what I was gonna say. I wonder how much the controller is gonna be because of all those features.
Bro, if you can play that without anything plugged in with the TV up and tapping buttons, and you only hear the voice, that's gonna be.
Now
crazy.
they have that. They have that tech though.
I'm sure they got it, but they wouldn't have put that in a microphone. I mean, in a controller though. And like you said, how much that's gonna cost? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm like. It already sounds expensive. It sounds like they may have a more downplayed version of that controller, but I don't think they would if they showed it.
Yeah,
but.
Yeah. And
but
also,
I just wanted to point out that I thought that was a good feature, so I wanted to give them props for that. That's actually pretty dope.
Now for a controller aficionado's opinion, I mean, Honestly, the PlayStation controller is no different than it's ever been. They just changed the handles on the DualShock 4, and they're changing the handles and the grip again. Button layout's still the same. Hopefully they will fix L2 and R2.
You don't like it?
I still feel like the DualShock 3 and the DualShock, especially the DualShock 3 and the DualShock 4, those trigger buttons are not they're not comparable to the Xbox controllers. I don't like them. I never liked them. My ideal L2 R2 buttons on a DualShock or a Sony, whatever you want to call them, controller would be the GameCube's L and R buttons on that PlayStation controller. That I think would be amazing. Another thing is I don't consider the color because it doesn't matter. Color doesn't matter about the functionality of a controller. Regardless of what you think about it, your preferred layout is going to determine what you like better between Xbox and PlayStation. Everything else is kind of irrelevant. Honestly, I think the DualShock 4 is one of the more comfortable controllers, even though it looks like a Play School controller compared to this futuristic one. But there are certain games I will play with a DualShock controller, like RPGs and other things, but like third-person shooters and other games, I will stick with my original Xbox 360 controller. So I'll probably still stick with the 360 controller, definitely get this controller. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with this controller based on what the DualShocks have always been. I just need that L2 and R2 button to be better, improved, or as good as Microsoft's standard typical trigger buttons. Yeah. That's all I need.
Regarding the regarding the microphone, like they do still recommend that you use a headset, of course. Like you are gonna be looking like an idiot if you're playing online and screaming into a controller. Okay, you're gonna look dumb. So use a headset. But I think when that does come in clutch is like most of
the DualSense, it's amazing. Ask me any questions. Are there back pedals on it? What do you mean? Does it have back buttons on it, like, you know, that little attachment that the DualShock 4 just got? I can't talk about that. So what was the point of you saying you used the controller, ask me questions, and say, I'm not allowed to talk about that? If you can't talk about it, shut the hell up then.
Yeah, why you ask for questions? Yeah.
Did he even seem like he was a reputable source?
No.
He was just a liar.
And that's what I said. He was cloud chasing. I could say I used the controller and tell he was like, it feels nice. It feels smooth. The buttons are nice and clicky. Okay. Does it have back buttons? I can't talk about it. Then shut up. I honestly do want to know if it has the back buttons, because in my opinion, Sony's going to say, because I'm looking at this controller right now, it does not seem like it would be able to attach any back thing like the DualShock 4 has with a little concave thing. Does not look like it'd be able to. So either they didn't include it and they're going to try to milk us for a pro controller, or they're going to include it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, they could make a different type one. Like
I would rather
they would have another controller.
I would rather them have it and have the option like the Xbox One Elite controller, where you can remove the paddles if you don't want them. So I do hope they are built in. Even if, you know what they should do? Those rear, because I got a PS Vita recently. Those rear touchpad buttons, I would not mind.
No.
Those things are supplemental buttons, though. They're not meant to be.
Yeah, they're not meant for
So I'm just saying, like, to have things like that to swipe to like switch a weapon.
Well,
or
on the Vita, those was meant to be like R2 and L2. Though.
Exactly. I don't like that. But I'm saying, like, if you're just playing a game and you're just using those quick swipes to, like, for example, to reload. Or to, like, you know, use that thing to switch weapons on a wheel. Just a quick swipe. I think those kind of buttons would be fine. I would never use those buttons to, like, press to jump or to
But
shoot.
they had stuff like that in Infamous Second Son, and it was trash. It did not work. It did not work well. Remember that?
I want some touchpad shit.
Yeah. So I'm skeptical about any gimmicks like that on any controller, any brand, any maker. Whenever they talk about this new gimmicky thing, I'm like, all right, let's.
But then again, Jack, it probably wouldn't make sense for them to do that, because if you want to do that, you have the panel on the front to do that. If you want to do something like that, so make buttons that are removable. But here's also the thing: you see how you're looking at the controller, right?
Mm-hmm.
At its face. If you're looking at the front of an Xbox Elite controller, you can see those pedals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it makes me feel like there are no pedals on it.
Yo, people complaining about the stream still. So
Yeah, I
something
told
might
them
be
to
going on.
refresh, and I told my wife to hop off the Wi-Fi. On my end, it's weird because on my end, I'm looking at it from my phone, and it looks completely
Mine
fine.
It's not lag.
Mine looks
It's different.
perfect.
It's buffering a little and stuff like
Mine
that.
looks
Mine
completely
looks
fine.
perfect 1080p 60.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's probably YouTube. It's not on my end. I know
Yeah,
that for
it
sure
might
this
be.
time. It's
It might
because I was watching ILP earlier, and they were having the same issue where for some reason their stream was just laggy. So it's definitely not on our end. I can't do anything about it.
Hit
That's
them
probably
like
YouTube.
buttons will lower the bit rate.
Yeah, I mean it's already like super low from where I usually have it. So it's YouTube guys. It's not us. But yeah,
I do think Smooth is on the right track though.
Yeah.
When he said that the system will be white because it's going to match the PSVR.
Yeah, it's gonna have some white in it.
Probably.
But that's probably good just to differentiate from the Series X. You know, like, they want it to probably look different. It's probably a conscious decision.
Well, however, it looks like it's already been looking like that since before they even announced the Series X.
Yeah, they're gonna. That's
a good point.
It's gonna be a first time in a little bit that we have consoles that are like two complete different looking machines and controllers and stuff. Like, and that's what makes it interesting. Like when I saw the controller, I still think the controller's fugly as all hell, but I do appreciate the futuristic look. It does make me that much more anticipated of the console because I'm just curious to see how they do it. Do you guys think it's gonna be like a standard like design, or you think they're gonna go like tower like, or is this shit gonna be like a ball? Like
no idea.
A ball.
But it does look like it doesn't look like an Xbox controller to me. It looks like the Wii U's Pro controller.
Yeah, it does resemble the shape of that. But the handles look like an Xbox.
The bottom of it.
No, the handles look like the Wii U Pro controller too.
Out of curiosity, because just listening to Bond describe like how they can make the PS5 controller better, what is y'all top controllers in general?
I think I made a video on this.
Elite 2.
Yeah.
But but I get that that's a cost
Why the
thing
fuck
right
is
there.
this dick sucker right here?
Okay.
I'll give you mine. I'll give you mine easily. All right. So I have number 1, the Xbox 360. Number 2, the Xbox One. Number 3, the GameCube controller. Number 4.
Wait, what?
Yes, the GameCube controller. I don't know. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Number 4, the DualShock, the current DualShock. And number 5, I would have to give it to for the Nintendo 64 controller. Why? I don't know, but
Ooh.
I got through a lot.
Man. It's like
What is happening
three
right now?
handles?
Some of the
What
best
is
games I played was played on the
Yeah, but they
The controller's good.
reconstructed newer versions of the controller. Like, why you talking about the new one or the old versions of the N64 controllers?
the ones
Like,
that came out
handle-
back in like 96, 97.
You prefer
That's
the three
nostalgia
handle?
talking. That is a
This-
terrible controller.
Like,
What?
Yeah, I gotta agree.
I think your enjoyment of the games kind of blinded you.
Yeah, but
Sometimes
I
you
mean,
do
No.
that.
like
The controller itself, not the game. The controller itself. Like when you was playing Super Mario 64, you mean to tell me you utilize all three handles?
The Z trigger.
BG, put up that controller list. That is the real definitive
That was
controller list
disgusting.
in the
That
Discord.
Z button.
I mean, the controller were like for the games I
no.
played, like the WrestleMania 2000s, the No Mercies, the Golden Eyes.
Now you know you was holding that middle one and the right one. You wasn't using that left one.
The N64
Actually,
controller was
I held it like I hold controllers now. That the middle one was stood free.
What, the N64?
The N64, yeah.
Oh no, you full of shit, yo.
the N64 controller was so bad. I used the Super Pad 64. I never even used the original controller.
Really?
Yep. Look up Super Pad 64. That's what I used. That list I just gave you, BG. That is the real deal when it comes to controller rankings.
This
right
is
there.
I just put it up on screen. That it's gonna take a while for you to see it, but yeah, that's Bond's ranking.
So the top tier, and keep in mind this is functionality for what it brings you.
Wait,
The top-
which version? Because I'm seeing the black one.
It does.
And
They're
then
all the same.
I'm seeing two different versions. There's
Super
one
Bad
that look like
64 Plus or the regular. It's only has two handles on it though.
I think you're talking about. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, but I don't know.
So,
Go
The
ahead,
top
Bob.
controller is the Xbox 360 controller. The later variants with the twistable upgraded D-pad, not the original ones. If they made an Xbox 360 Elite controller, oh god. The next three controllers got to be the Saturn and the Genesis controller. Those controllers are perfect for 2D games. Same with the Super Nintendo controller. Then in the next tier, I got to go with the Xbox One's controller, the DualShock 4, the DualShock 2, the original PlayStation controller.
And stop right there. You putting the original PS1 controller in there?
Then did you hear what I said at the beginning of this? I said for its time.
So even without the sticks, though, man.
Hold up. Yeah. For its time, the regular PlayStation controller was a Super Nintendo controller with 2 extra buttons and handles. How could you disagree with that? And I also have the regular Nintendo controller as the A tier, because before the regular Nintendo controller, we were playing on Atari joysticks with 1 button. So when I rate controllers, I also rate them on how good they are and what the competition was at the time of when they released.
I feel you on that. When I picked up my PS1, though, I was picking up Metal Gear Solid. Yeah. So trying to play that without joysticks was awful. That's where my mind is right now.
I mean, I agree, but I'm saying, like, when the PlayStation 1 controller came out, what else was the competition? You had the Saturn controller, the 3DO controller, the Jaguar controller. Like,
joysticks wasn't really the standard.
There really wasn't much else out to compare.
Okay, all right, I'm picking you up now. All right,
my B tier, I had the 3-button Genesis controller, the Wii Pro controller, the Wii U Pro controller. The Wii U Pro controller does not have digital triggers. That kills it from right there. And in my C tier, which is usable but not good controllers, the Wii, the GameCube, the Xbox Controller S, the Wii U tablet, DualShock 3, Dreamcast, and N64. Anything else after that's D tier and trash, which would include like the Duke, the Sega Master System, Joy-Cons, and Ataris.
Oh, Sega Master System. Boy, did that give me blisters.
Yep. and that's a perfect example right there of 2 controllers that came out at the same time, the Master System and the Nintendo, while the Nintendo is an A and the Master System's at the bottom. Because they're competing controllers, but the regular Nintendo controller just destroys it.
I don't know if anybody brought it up, but the like some people were bringing up that, like, since it has a microphone in the controller, like, developers could like implement some type of gameplay around that. But I was like, they did that 10 years ago. It wasn't in the controller, but it was just the PlayStation 2 microphone, and some developers implemented made games around that where you could say commands to like some AI or NPCs, and that never really like caught on with people.
Seaman, Hey You, Pikachu.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of games like that.
Yeah. On paper it sounds good, but actually executing it, it's not something you want to do.
Yeah, I remember the Kinect that came with the Xbox One, like the launch. I remember they had a feature, I think it was in Dead Rising 3, where if you would talk or if you yelled at the zombies, like you'll get their attention and they'll come after you.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember that, Smooth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how anybody can think that the GameCube, the N64, or the Dreamcast controllers are.
I didn't have a problem with the GameCube controller, except it felt a little cheap, like very lightweight. That's what I remember from it. It just felt very cheap. But
I'm saying it was only good for Nintendo games. Any other game, it was not good for.
Yeah.
You didn't have clickable joysticks. You had a micro-sized D-pad. You had a weird face button layout, and you only had 3 shoulder buttons, not 4. And let's be real, the Z button was absolutely useless, and it didn't have a select button.
People said that controller is really good for like Smash Bros.
Yeah, because that's what it was made for.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar because like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was on Dreamcast.
My problem with the Dreamcast is this. I mean, it came out after the DualShock, so 1, it doesn't have 2 joysticks. That's stupid. The compartment that holds the VMU and the Rumble Pack, it would always rub on my middle fingers. That like bulky thing in the back that you can attach the cord to if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It would always grind on my knuckles and my middle fingers. The fact that the cable came out of the bottom was annoying instead of the top. I mean, I know you can wrap it around, but it would always come loose. They didn't have clickable analogs, only had 1 analog stick. But the biggest crime against the Dreamcast controller is this D-pad was absolute trash compared to the Genesis and Saturn counterparts. And that is inexcusable for a side controller not to have a great D-pad, especially with all the fighting games.
You know what? I agree. I agree with what you were saying, especially since you mentioned the cord. I completely forgot about the cord.
Yeah,
Like that
it's
shit was pretty annoying.
only controller I can ever remember using where the cord comes out of the bottom.
Yeah, that was weird.
Man, the Dreamcast controller deserve props. I keep telling you how innovative that controller was, man.
Innovative
Come
doesn't
on,
mean
man.
BG
Come
has
on,
said
man. It
a
had a memory
billion
card,
times.
man. You could take it out and play games, man. Come on, man.
BG
I mean,
has
you're
said it
right.
a billion times. Innovative does not mean good.
You're right.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
just
know,
like
I
the
know.
N64 was the first one to have an analog stick, that doesn't mean that controller's any better.
Yeah, I hear Bond and all that, but I'm just saying, I remember taking that thing to school, getting in so much trouble playing that.
You taking a controller to school for?
You was playing
I took
the
I took
Dreamcast memory card.
Yeah, because nobody knew what it was.
That
Nobody
VMU.
knew what it
Show
was.
off.
So I used to take the memory card. I used to figure out how to put games on there and play it. People was like, yo, what is that? Yo, I had the whole school getting in trouble.
I ain't gonna lie. I took a few things to school without the actual console just to show. I did.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
I was showing off.
Yeah, I did do that a few
You
times.
gotta take the manual to school, show everybody you got the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you got that? Yo, oh fuck. That's crazy.
Yo, just casually pull it out too. Start reading it. People like, yo, what's
I
that?
got Metal Gear Solid. I got all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think.
remember dude brought the Smash book to school. He was
Yeah, I
happy
think
as
I
shit.
brought like even like because they made a memory card, like the see-through memory cards, whatever you
Yeah.
call them. Like I bought a couple of memory cards to school for no reason. Like what
Damn,
the
you
hell?
was
Like,
done with memory
yeah,
cards?
I don't know,
Y'all
man.
are
I
wild.
bought a memory
Weird about
card,
it.
man. It made no sense. But you
Look, I
thought you
got
was
the translucent joint. Y'all ain't got this. Like, what the fuck?
yeah,
it
like
was
you
just
thought
weird.
you was
Oh, you had the
fly.
blue one?
I had I think it was purple. I think it was like a translucent purple one. I think.
I remember that one.
Yeah, it was just one of those
Yeah.
weird things people
I
did.
thought
I
I
had
was
the red
fly
one.
bringing a memory card, bro. Like
Yeah.
Good God.
Did all that.
That's how you lose hours in games right there.
yeah,
Yeah, you could have.
yeah, man.
That's how you get robbed.
Oh yeah, I seen a couple of kids get their Game Boy taken back in the day in school.
Word.
I mean, why would you try to bring that giant brick to school?
Yo,
I mean,
because that was the whole purpose of it. It was the purpose of it was to like take it places you wasn't supposed to.
bro, I remember
Flex
like
that you got one.
Yeah.
I remember, and I don't know if it was only me, but like I remember like being in the 4th grade and like the 5th graders. I don't know why they seemed so damn grown when we was in the 4th grade and they was only like one grade higher than us. But I always remember
It's like, hey, Arnold.
Yeah, I know, right?
low key.
That's definitely what you're describing.
Yeah, and like I remember a couple times like people bringing their Game Boys to school and like dudes would be like, "Oh, you gotta let me see it. Let me just see it. Let me just
and
hold
if
it. I
you
just
gave
want to
it
put
to
it.
him?
I just want to touch it. Have it in my hands real quick. I don't got one. Man, ended ugly.
Or your parents would be sending you back there. You better go fight and get that Game Boy back.
Man, yeah, rough out here. But
Hey, I had to go
Is
through
there
all
anybody
that.
that disagrees with the controller list? Like,
What, the PlayStation controller?
or
Yeah,
any of the controllers we've
No, I didn't agree. I didn't disagree with it. That's why I didn't say nothing.
I think the
Jimmy's
Switch
been
Pro
on
controller-
point 4 months of this year. We got new Jimmy.
Oh,
You should have
man.
knew Jimmy.
Jimmy has not been roasted one time this year.
Damn,
Oh,
he has it.
Lord.
Nice.
Not yet. Not yet.
Well, damn, is that common?
It was.
I want to talk about the battery life. So unless I'm misunderstanding this, right? So okay, we know the DualSense 5 gonna have a rechargeable battery, right? But the Xbox One X, the Xbox Series X controller, it has it's 2 AA batteries, right? But it doesn't it also have charging? Like you could plug it
Nope.
in, right?
Nope.
Now you gotta buy the charger
No,
separate.
Yeah, you buy a separate charger.
Why does it
Right,
come with
wow.
the charger and then give you the option to replace it with batteries?
Because it's more expensive.
They want
I mean,
you
of course
to
it's more
grab-
expensive,
They want you to grab your ankles. They're selling booty box controllers.
Wow.
But I don't want to do.
I mean, some people actually try to make a case for batteries. I think the plus usually they say is what is the plus? I don't know.
But here's the plus: if you're literally going to be playing your machine for over a decade. But here's the thing: I still have my PlayStation 3, right? I played Persona on my PlayStation 3. I didn't buy the PlayStation 4 version. Didn't feel the need to buy a PlayStation 4 at the time for a game that's functionally the same thing. My DualShock 3 still works, and I got that. When did Demon Souls come out?
2009.
13?
No, 2009.
Yeah. So I got my thing the day Demon's Souls came out in February. I remember I got the Slim. That controller was 11 years old. When did Persona 5 come out?
16, 17?
17.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah, so there you go. That controller is old as dirt, and it still works.
Okay.
8 years old, and I'm not worried about the battery.
Yo, Bond, that mini Nintendo controller you brought, the Bluetooth one, you still be using it?
I use it on occasionally. Honestly, though, for older games, the PlayStation 4 just really is a controller retro game. The D-pad, the face buttons, the handles, anything you want. So, I have like the mini Genesis Saturn 6-button style controller and the mini Super Nintendo. I mean, it's not a mini one. They're the same size of analogs. They're good controllers, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, the DualShock 4 is just the best controller for retro games.
Right, yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, it's very, the PS5 controller is very feature rich. A lot of people have been saying because of the features, they think it's more of an improvement over the Series X controller. It may have more features, but I think people are also trying to look for a way to kind of like, down the Series X controller. They played it a little bit more safe. They played a little bit safe, but I don't think there's not necessarily wrong with that either. We'll just have to see.
I wish they rounded out the bottom parts, like the 360. I cannot stand the angular parts of that controller beneath the right analog and the left D-pad.
I'm just glad they kept the PS5 controller sticks symmetrical. I guess I'm in the minority of people who like symmetrical and think it's way better than the other way. But yeah, I'm always gonna be symmetrical, man. Like I don't get the
so
benefit.
when you play on PC, you use the DualShock if it's like a controller-based game.
Yeah.
See, I don't mind using the analogs shock, except for when it's a game, it's like a third party, you have to aim with it. I don't like that controller for aiming. Partly also because I don't like shooting on that controller because, again, the triggers suck.
Bro, I played with offset sticks on trying to play The Last of Us, bro. That shit was unplayable, yo. I couldn't do it. I don't like that shit.
It's weird to me. Like, somebody tried to explain offset to me as like, it's because one is doing one function and the other is doing another function. So having them next to each other confuses them. I'm like, huh? Like how? like they one is for one is for movement and the other one is like for looking around. I guess they said like compare it to how your body works. I'm like, bro, it's not that serious. It's like if you can't understand that the stick on your left does one thing and the stick on your right does another thing, regardless of how close they are together, I think something's wrong with your body and your mind. Like
here's the thing. The difference, the similarities in both controllers is your right thumb is the same on both. It's when I'm holding both right now. It's your left thumb, the angle at which each is. That's the difference. And if you're like me, and you started your shooting games playing Halo, like that's just what it is.
The other thing, right? I'm interested in knowing from y'all. So people say they don't like symmetrical. Someone just said it in the comment section because their thumbs touch, right? And
that can happen.
But I never understood how your thumbs touch. I never understand how your thumbs touch until I put my hands on the controller, right? And I realized people must okay. Is the tip of your thumb in the middle of the stick?
There's no games that have that input where your thumbs would touch.
Yeah, I never had that happen.
Like, I've never had
some big ass hands.
No, but I'm pretty sure I have big hands. I'm pretty sure Bond has big hands because like height is usually associated with that somewhat, right? So I'm really trying to understand. I've never had my thumbs touch in my life while using symmetrical sticks. How does that happen?
It'll happen to me because the way I put my thumbs on the analog stick, you see the middle point of your thumb?
Yeah.
Like the dead center of your thumb?
Yeah.
The middle of the thumb is what that middle portion of your thumb is what I rest on the outside of the joystick.
See that's not how I have my thumbs. I'm like, that's the only way your thumbs could touch is if your actual, like, the middle of your thumb, like what you, I guess, would point with if you pointed with your thumb, if that's on the outside of the stick, then yeah, they can touch. But my fingers, my thumb is literally in the middle of the joint of the stick, so there's no possible way they can touch.
So right underneath your thumbnail is where, like, you cover it, right?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
right
I don't. That's uncomfortable to
that's
me.
weird. Like why is your? That's weird to me.
You know, I'll take a picture. I'll take a picture of it and I'll show you why it's uncomfortable, and you'll understand completely.
Somebody brought it up. They probably got long ass thumbnails. You know what I mean? That are clicking together.
I will take a picture and show you why it's uncomfortable, though.
Because I guess some people, you know, where your thumb, the first part where your thumb bends, I guess some people have that on the actual stick where your thumb bends.
Let me grab a controller real quick.
See, now it's getting you thinking about it. I'm like, thumbs touch.
I will text you exactly how it happens, BG, and I'll show you why.
It was just something interesting to me that I wanted to.
Check your Twitter right now, and that's exactly why. Because the way you see the first picture I sent you,
yeah,
that's how you hold it. That's
exactly how I hold it.
Exactly. To me, that feels like you're stabbing the controller, and your thumb is arched. See how I play? My thumb is relaxed.
Yeah, I don't do that.
But you understand why some people play differently. So if I see, my thumb is like already into the middle of that Xbox controller. You see that?
Yeah.
Now, if I played on the DualShock and I'm aiming like that, yes, my thumbs will connect. That's how people thumbs will hit each other.
Yeah, I never thought people actually played like that. That's interesting. So now we know what people's thumbs are touching.
Yeah,
because you still got the sticker on your 360 controller?
I got this from. I have an awesome used game store, and I couldn't find good condition 360 controllers. I got this for $20. It's pretty much brand new. I got it like a couple months ago.
Okay, so I got an Xbox One controller, I got a 360 controller, I got a PS4 controller, and I got a PS3 controller.
I thought
okay.
Okay.
Jack, these. Oh damn! I didn't know a bald version of me was. See.
Hold on, what you say?
I didn't know the bald version of me was in Final Fantasy. No, I know that character.
Oh man.
But you see, Jack, you saw the picture, right?
No, who you talking about? You talking about old? I think I know who you talking about, though.
No, I posted it into the chat.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, he's talking about his stuff.
Wait, let me.
Yeah, I guess I'm glad I understand now. I guess.
I play with my thumbs on the analog sticks. Relax. BG has like that half McDonald's arch. Well, you want to get some tendon. You can get some tendonitis playing games like that. I mean,
it's never bothered me. I've never even noticed like that I have, that I have my thumbs like that, because I just figured everybody play like that. You know, if you're a human and you're not a Neanderthal, I'm like, oh, everybody does this.
Wait,
listen, man. I posted it on Twitter. I'll post it to this.
Oh, Twitter. Okay, hold on.
But anybody got any other thoughts on the DualSense controller? Anything we forgot to mention about it?
So hold up. Now we got a question. I don't know if you can get that on screen, BGs. We gotta ask, how do people hold their analog sticks?
Okay, let me see if I could get Wabond his two comparisons on screen. Hold on.
Yeah. As far as the controller, I just hope. Well, I know what it is, but I hope the battery life is like. Ideally, I hope it's as long as the Switch Pro controller, which is like 40 hours. But honestly, I don't think it's gonna be that much with all the tech that's in it. So maybe like 20-25 hours will probably be good.
25 hours.
For the controller?
Because I don't think it could go up to like 40 hours with all the tech that's in it, just like the Switch Pro.
Man, I would guess maybe a decent 15. I don't have too much faith when they say better battery life.
Because I'll be honest, BG, even with the D-pad, I play the same. Yeah, I'm picked up a Super Nintendo controller. Even with the D-pad, I still do it the same way. I don't arch the thumb. I just let it relaxed on it and just shift the weight.
Right, I got you. Hold on. I'm putting it up on screen. I guess people...
Yeah, because this is actually a good topic. Because I'm curious to see how people hold their controllers now. Because I've never thought about this until you said people can hit their thumbs. I'm like,
all right, so it's on screen now. So in the chat, y'all, the top one we could say is 1, and the bottom one is 2. Y'all let us know, how you have your thumbs positioned. Because I'm definitely the top.
It's not showing up.
Pause.
Yet, so let's see.
Well, each controller that I mentioned, I hold it in 2 different ways depending on what game I'm playing, especially with fighting games. Because since I don't have an arcade stick, I hold it where
You don't have to
my
enlarge
right hand...
that. There you go.
Huh?
Okay. No, it's on Tom BG's got to enlarge it. It's there now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I have my right hand where I am pressing it like I'm in arcade, versus if I'm playing a shooting or RPG, then I'm just holding it like normal. But that
Damn,
is so weird.
It's dead even.
Oh, okay. There's surprisingly a lot of 2s.
It's literally dead even.
You know what's crazy? I don't hold it like either of those.
Oh, wait, what? So what? So how do you hold it?
I hold it from the tip.
Oh,
like
word?
Oh,
chill.
wait, what?
Chill.
Wait,
Y'all need to chill.
Yeah.
Hey, at least Contra don't gotta say pause.
So I'm saying, I would say it's 60-40 to the 2s here. Now, what is...
I'm a 2.
You're a 2? What do you, Smooth?
Hold on, I'm not looking at it. Let me see.
I keep my hands like the
2.
No.
Dang, I feel weird.
I'm holding it right now, and I have. I have a little arch. I have an arch.
So you're the top.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you're a 2.
Yeah, I'm a 2.
I mean, Jack has to be a 1 because you can't play. No shot.
He said you have to be.
No, I'm 2.
How? You got some baby hands?
I don't think so.
Jack, you gotta take a picture of you holding a controller. I gotta see this.
Yeah, Jack got some grubby little gnarled fingers.
No, I don't, sir.
Yeah, okay.
The only way
I
only way you could do that is I'm holding the controller right now. Like, you'd have to widen your grip on the control. Then I don't know how that would be even comfortable.
Yeah, I'm more of a 1.
Interesting.
I don't get how y'all a 1 though, but
it's interesting. Interesting topic indeed.
I think as you intensify, you turn into a 1.
No.
That's the equivalent to sitting up in your chair.
Yeah, like when shit is getting real, you turn into a 1.
And that's 1 is kind of like claw. That's kind of like the claw style, I guess.
But when you chilling, it's 2, man.
Because also, like, if you're trying to reach the face buttons, I just simply slide my thumb off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
BG, I feel like you gotta take off your thumb and like peck like a bird.
Okay.
Wait, so when you guys hold the controller, y'all have your fingers completely on the circle?
Yeah, that's what I said. They have it. They have it arched.
But you have yours over it, like.
No, I'm not. No, I use like 25% of the circle. That's how I hold it. Like when I'm playing fighting or shooting games, it's like I'm tilting. That's probably why I be killing the hell out of my analog sticks, where it feels like it's drilled in.
Oh, so you be actually hitting it. You be tapping it.
So are you closer to a 1 or a 2?
I'm like in between.
I'm with Contra though, because I'm in between too. That 1 is very intense based on that picture.
Yeah,
that's serious about it.
Yeah. I'm not like that.
And you know
I
what
ain't
I'm
no
playing
play
right
no game
now,
like
and
that.
like I don't have to bend my fingers really though. I don't. My thumbs aren't bent. They're in the middle of the sticks, but my thumbs aren't bent.
Well, see, like I'm like right on that button. I'm not like overlapping it, but like I'm not crooked up, bending my thumb like that.
Yeah. And even on the left hand side, if I'm using a D-pad, I still the same way. I do not put my finger like completely over it. I just use like the ball of my thumb just to like maneuver it.
Okay. All right. Well,
Man,
I'm gonna put a poll on my Twitter because I knew I wasn't crazy because I always say it was like 60-40 when we seen the 1s and the 2s, but now I'm seeing some 1.5s.
1.5. Yeah.
I mean, Contra had to change it up.
I ain't mean to, but
No,
that
that's
shit
cool.
just look weird as fuck. Because I never knew that people put their whole finger on the circle. I don't do that.
I mean, it could have been something I developed as a little kid because my fingers weren't big enough to cover the whole D-pad at age 3, so I just put the whole thumb over the bitch.
I mean, but it seems common because all of y'all are doing it except me. Because I don't utilize the entire circle.
That's how you know a true gamer when you look at them. Arch or not.
Last comment I'll say on the controller is, even though I don't like the white, I think the two-tone color sets up the controller better for custom and themed consoles, because if you just have it where it's like one tone, it pretty much doesn't accommodate some of the mock-ups we've seen. It wouldn't work with if it was just a one-tone controller. So that's the one thing it does open up a lot of possibilities for it. So that'll be cool. Even though PlayStation makes the laziest custom consoles and everything like that, we'll see if that changes next generation. They don't put no effort into it.
Yeah, they got fancy with the controller design.
Yeah, I hope they bring back the having multiple colors. That are not special editions.
It's set up perfect for that.
You know what? It's also set up perfect. I can guarantee you they're gonna make shells that you could just click onto these side pieces.
That controller like it is begging for. That's why I think it's gonna be another version.
Yep. It definitely looks like you're just about to clamp something over these over those white portions.
Yeah. All right. So we can move on if everybody's done with their comments for the controller. Next topic is this whole podcast is going to be a lot of topics about remakes. But so we got today, we seem to get some type of confirmation that a Resident Evil 4 remake is in development and is going to be releasing 2022. We talked about this I think last week because there were rumors. My stance is, everybody knows I love Resident Evil 4, but I don't feel like it needs a remake. I still feel like it was made in the modern era of what Resident Evil games were. So that's why I feel that way. But
cash grab.
Interesting to hear.
Capcom cannot be left alone. As soon as they find something fresh and new, they milk the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so here's a question: if they're putting out Resident Evil 8, which we presume and we hear is going to be an extension of 7, still first person, and they're also doing a 4 remake, if they're doing those two things kind of offsetting each other, does that bother you a little bit less?
It does, but I still would rather them do Code Veronica's. As being said, RE4 is already a modern game.
Yeah,
I think what concerned me.
It would definitely be better for Code Veronica, but the thing is, they would definitely go for 4 first because that's the one that's going to sell a lot more. Code Veronica was great, but it's not the most popular in the series, even though it is one of the best, and it's the true sequel to Resident Evil 2. Code Veronica is the real Resident Evil 3.
Yep.
But yeah.
If they put the RE2 team on Code Veronica, and then they put the RE3 team on RE4, I'm a happy camper there. And then just have RE8 make its thing, because that would make me happy. Because RE2 had more polish than RE3.
Yeah, and here's how you get. I'm sorry, go ahead, Jimmy.
Now, what I was going to say is that the people that are from Platinum Games are making it, so that's a concern.
Which Platinum team? That's the question. Which Platinum team is making it?
Here's another thing. Here's another thing they can do with Code Veronica. They definitely got to. If they remade it, they got to make it less cheesy, more grounded.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a huge opportunity in the game because Wesker's in it.
Yes.
And I feel like the concept of remaking any game with Wesker in it is better than a game without Wesker.
Yes.
Here's a quick question. So with these remakes, right? Because they do change not any major part of the story, but small things. Do you think the original games are still canon moving forward to Resident Evil 8 and forward? What's
I consider the original versions canon, and these new games the Dragon Ball Kai versions.
What the fuck? I think that's the best way to describe it, is what Bond said, because quite frankly, they're their own game. we can't necessarily compare it to the past, because even with Resident Evil 3, they took out some parts like the clock tower puzzles that was originally in 3, but then again, there's certain aspects in 3 that's still not in the remake. So yeah, it's pretty candid, in my opinion.
What y'all talking about, the RE4 remake?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 versus 4.
I got a problem with people acting like RE4 is a perfect game, because it's far from a perfect game.
Who said it was perfect?
People act like this is the only game that shouldn't be remade. It's perfect. It's if you even mention it, people act like you talking blasphemous.
No, I don't think that's not the reason I think it shouldn't be remade. But my simple reason is like it's modern already. That's the only reason I think. Like,
but it's not though.
It
Yes, it is. They put it on the PS4.
It doesn't. No.
It's modern.
Bro, do you see? You can't control the camera in that game. What are you talking about?
It's early modern.
It started the modern era of Resident Evil.
It did, but they also perfected it, in my opinion, recently. So yeah, it can definitely stay
obviously recently. But again, like you have one game that's not modern at all, and another game that is.
There's parts of the game that's very crude because it's early. It's at the early stage of Resident Evil becoming modern. But like I said, like that's just me. I don't got no problem with anybody, anybody's opinion on it. To me, either way, it doesn't matter. Like I'm buying it either way, but I'm not pressed if it comes or it doesn't. So I know people want and what exactly would you improve? Okay, you shorten the castle. Okay, you
shorten the island.
Bro, you can speedrun that game like in under an hour easy. I don't need to shorten the castle.
You can speedrun what game in an hour?
No, not Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, have you seen people do that
Resident Evil 4 is 15 hours.
They can, but it's not. They can, but I don't think it's completely legit. I think they do some type of bug.
They literally don't shoot anybody. They just shoot once, kick them, and keep running. They just run.
Well, I watch a lot of GDQ, which is games done quick, and they do a lot of speed runs. And I've seen the RE4 ones, and they do like where they glitch in the wall and like completely skip like an entire part.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of glitches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess make it like Resident Evil 2 and 3, where you could you give the camera a little bit of freedom and stuff like that. What else could you change?
Touch up the engine.
I'm not ready to go back to suplexing zombies and like even with like the F5 and like DDT and zombies.
Listen, I'm sorry. I will not take
Nemesis went overboard in 3. So
I will not take any Leon suplex slander. That's one of the best things in the game. I'm sorry. I won't take any slander.
It is, but like that. Resident Evil 4 is an action game. It's not a horror game. When you started suplexing like look,
he was punching him in
look, if Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 were real, we were all in that situation, we would all be super cautious and careful not to get bit, not to get scratched. If we were put into Resident Evil 4, we would just get body armor and a bunch of guns and start blowing everybody the fuck up. Yeah, we might get hurt, but we're not going to get infected from the smallest little thing.
They were setting them up for Street Fighter, dog.
Yo, you know what? I was surprised that they didn't put Leon in any Marvel Capcom games.
Me too. I was
a whole moveset.
Oh, I was thinking if they make another one, I was thinking Leon has to be in it because they've had Chris and Jill. Leon has to be in the next one.
Yeah.
But I consider the original games the canon because both remakes create plot holes. First of all, how Claire and like Leon, they should fight different bosses, and it doesn't make sense that Annette gets attacked in both scenarios by Birkin. Like it doesn't make sense.
What I really want them to do if they remake the game, they gotta do a deep dive into Leon and Krauser's past, right? Because
they already did that in the game.
Yeah, they made a game for Nintendo where they played it.
Right, but what was it? Wasn't it
I think it was like Umbrella Chronicles.
It was like a light gun game.
It was one of the obscure Resident Evil games nobody played.
It was a light gun game.
I think it was Umbrella Chronicles.
Yeah, Umbrella Chronicles. It was that one, but like I don't know that many people that played it, and like we got to play one of your obscure games to learn about Leon and Krauser's past. Because when I played Resident Evil 4 for the first time, I thought something. I was like, did I miss a game? Like, because in the game they make it seem like him and Leon have such a deep history, and I'm like, I'm lost. I gotta explore this better.
Those light gun-esque games didn't even come out until after RE4 anyway.
Yeah, it came out after.
So you wouldn't have known regardless.
Yeah, they got to do like a just a flashback. I need like a good old flashback to show their history, man. Because like
I would put a game on it if you want to bet, Smooth, that this game will be nothing but a graphical overhaul with minor tweaks and maybe some changes.
But they didn't do that to the last game. Why would they do it now?
I don't. I'm telling you, they're not going to change this game up like RE2 was, or make a different game like RE3 was. This will be a graphical overhaul.
Nah, it's taking.
I think they're gonna change. They're definitely gonna change it. They might even make the village part shorter.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do what Jack said because it's taking too long to get developed.
It's not taking too long. They just finished 3. They're making other games.
2 years though, just for them to add graphics.
They literally they made RE3 in 1 year.
No, that was like 2.5 years.
Yeah, they was co-developing.
RE3 was in development while RE2 was.
Yeah,
same time.
Yeah,
it was.
It was quick though. It did seem like it was a quick time, but that's because they was co-developing it. But it did seem quick. I get what you're saying. And it doesn't seem like it got the same love, even though I think I enjoyed Resident Evil 3's campaign a little bit more than 2. It don't seem like it got the same love.
Co-developing really means that still, in my opinion, because this is pretty much fact, co-developing still means that the second game doesn't really truly develop until the first game's out.
And low key, there was some parts of Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 that they didn't have to make from scratch. I mean, the police station, like,
exactly.
Like parts of the police station, they could have just copied and pasted.
That's another thing I got a problem with.
Yeah.
People are like criticize RE3 for having reused assets. RE3 originally had reused assets. Like what?
Yep.
What are we talking about?
But we're saying is because it had a bunch of reused.
No. I know what y'all saying. I'm talking about people that's criticizing the game. Like.
And that multiplayer, if it wasn't Outbreak, they should have gotten rid of it. That they just detracted resources from making the game better. Who is playing that
More
multiplayer
mercenaries
right now?
Who is playing what?
Who is playing that game online right now?
Yeah, that's true.
Who?
I mean,
no, that shit trash.
Like, look, if I were Capcom, right? If I were going to do multiplayer, it would have been co-op mercenaries and possibly Outbreak. They should have kept. When you make a remake, you can't remove stuff. You have to add stuff. The fact that the park and the clock tower were missing was stupid. The fact that Nemesis was a glorified, boss battle and not like a persistent threat was stupid. Another thing that bothered me was, sometimes you'd be playing that game on different runs and, you're playing on hard and sometimes things would change. Some playthroughs, you'd have a lot of ammo. Some playthroughs, you wouldn't have a lot of ammo. Nemesis appear out of nowhere and you'd get that prompt, you fighting or you run? Like, nah, bro, I'm running. I didn't have my grenade launcher from the box. I'm out. Oh, I have my grenade launcher ammo. I'm going to fight. Oh, well, no. You called me sleeping. I'm running.
Here's the problem.
There wasn't that tension in the game.
And here's the problem I had with the dodge mechanic, right?
The dodge mechanic. The thing was terrible.
It only worked. See, I didn't have a problem with the timing, right? I felt like it should work backward. It doesn't work backwards. Like if you
we talking about you back dodge.
Yeah, if you dodge back, right? Because a zombie's behind you and you try to get the perfect dodge backwards, it doesn't work. It's only if you're facing the enemy or if you dodge towards them. I'm like, why wouldn't this work omnidirectional?
BG, can you dodge people that you can't see?
This is video games.
If I sneak up behind you, you're gonna dodge me like Batman?
This is video games, okay? Like technically, if we being real, like Jill should have been dead in her bedroom from Nemesis right there. Okay.
Yeah, like that first explosion that from the door outside would have broken all of her ribs.
She got shot with an actual rocket, like it hit her fucking feet,
Like okay, and here's the
thing.
thing.
And it
like,
shot over the cling. Yeah.
All those impacts would have broken her bones.
I mean,
dust.
Flew off of like a parking garage in a car. She
in a car,
Oh yeah, she should be dead right there.
You know what my thing about that car part was? The first thing I said is, why did the airbag not deploy? That's the first thing I said. I'm like, yo, she
I'm
would
surprised
be
her body didn't deploy from that fucking vehicle.
exactly like, yo, if you drove a car off a cliff, no air. First of all, even with an airbag, you'd probably break your legs. But with no airbag, her face should have gone through the window.
Yeah, at least not her in like this state. Like I understand if she was like the Jill from like Resident Evil 5, that she's like all like souped up and like really fast and stuff like that. But yeah, this one like I don't know. They made her like Alice from like the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah,
pretty
and it's
much.
like okay, like even if she can't get the perfect dodge backwards, like let's say you just happen to dodge backwards, like you're getting grabbed. It just doesn't exist. Like okay, if I don't know, it's just dumb to me. Like it should be omnidirectional. That really bothered me.
PG want to be out here playing like a freaking ninja or Dante.
Or like a Dark Souls game, just rolling around like a Dark Souls game, pretty much.
Oh God,
so that bothered me. But yeah, as far as this Resident Evil 4, I don't like the whole it being a remake or remaster thing. That itself doesn't bother me as long as they're still making new games. I mean, I'm still waiting on Onimusha. Don't know where that's at. And then Resident Evil 8 seems to be coming. They might call it Resident Evil Village. Resident Evil 8 Village, they're trying to be clever with it and everything like that. Still, we talked about that. Still going to be first person and all that jazz. I'm not super excited about it.
And yeah,
you're still gonna be Ethan.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
My God, get this out of here, man.
But they said that Chris is gonna have a bigger role, so you might have sections where you play as Chris.
Chris looked like he was. I don't know why Chris looked like that at the end of 7. He looked like he was on the spectrum. Like I ain't gonna lie to you.
He wasn't cute enough for you, BG?
Oh no! Don't
can we get some new characters? Can we get like Barry into a game?
True.
Can we get Barry into a game? Can we get some new or some underutilized characters?
Like who is Ethan besides a random dude that just wandered into a house looking for somebody? Like.
For his girlfriend.
Yeah, who is this man, bro?
Actually, you know why Barry can't be the main character?
He dead.
No, he's not dead. That's another thing I didn't like. I didn't like how they wrote him out of the ending, changing the canon of the story. But they're out. You can't start a game as a character with the strongest gun in the game. He starts out with his signature weapons and mag.
Yeah. He just walks around with that all the time.
So he's either gonna lose it, which is lame, and Barry without the Magnum, or he has it from the beginning and it's just mad easy.
Yeah. I mean, is anybody getting Resident Evil fatigue? Because
I'm about to.
I can't say I'm tired of it though. I can't say like oh man, another one. I'm not tired of it. I'm not exactly excited about 8 being still in first person. But I'm not tired of the games.
I think it needs to be like at least like 2 years before either 8 or 4 comes out. It shouldn't be like next year.
Oh shit, bro! Somebody just sent me the most wild tweet. Listen to this, or the most wild text message. Listen to this. First time in 2 months we've not had one school shooting.
Wow,
that's bad.
That is true.
This is America, dog.
It's true. Yeah. And like with Capcom, it wasn't too long ago that they were like broke. They were really like struggling out here because of bad decisions and bad management, and they kind of like found something that's really working for them, so they're gonna continue it. 4 gotta be the last one though.
Where? No, I need Code Veronica now.
Okay, yeah, well, mainline series. Yeah.
Where?
They can remake all them shits, to be honest, except 7.
Yeah, they're gonna remake
5.
Do not remake 1 or 5.
They definitely gonna remake all of them.
Where is Deep Down?
That shit cancel, yo.
That shit deep down in the trash right now.
That shit like a shitty like Dark Souls. I'm not gonna play shit.
I'm gonna laugh. With
Capcom's been doing really good with like Monster Hunter and Resident Evil.
Yeah, Microsoft's gonna announce a partnership with Capcom for Deep Down. You watch.
Yeah, Capcom just needs to do better with their fighting games, man. That's what they really need to do.
Well, yeah. So we got a lot of Resident Evil on the way, you know, for the next few years. So a lot of
Watch,
remakes.
they're gonna slap Resident Evil 8 as a VR, just like 7.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
of
it's gonna
course.
be VR. Yeah, it's gonna be both. You play it regularly and with VR.
I couldn't do that shit in VR. I tried.
But you got scared?
Boy,
Oh man.
boy. What? No, what I fucked up at is I had one of my friends while I was streaming. He took the controller, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" So he was moving, and I wasn't ready to go into rooms, but he forced me go into rooms anyway. Man, no, nope. It was bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of Resident Evil stuff going on. So Cliff Bleszinski,
Ew.
so he's on Twitter
Begging for a job again.
low key begging for a job because he keeps bringing up in his tweets that, like, oh, listen guys, if y'all want me back at you know, back working on Gears, y'all got to tell the coalition that, you know, don't tweet, don't.
That light bill ain't gonna pay itself though.
It's like,
Does he not have anything else to do?
No.
he wanted, he want that old thing back. He wanted bad. He want that old thing back.
Ain't nobody
bad.
finna fund no fucking Cliffy B game right now, yo.
And it's one of those things where, like, you know, like when the ex is like stalking your Instagram pages, that's what it seems like Cliffy B doing. Like, nobody, the ex not asking for you, not checking for you, and nobody's really asking about you. Not a whole lot of people is asking about you being on the coalition, but he's like faking it to like get their attention. That's what it seems like. I don't know, man.
Well, remember when he was talking about getting Radical Heights on Xbox? He's like, we want it on Xbox, like trying to get them to give him a deal. And Mikey Barra tweets at him, it's really easy to publish on Xbox, and gives him like the ID at Xbox link or something.
Wow.
That was the best. When Ibarra just slapped him down, like, yep, get in line. Come on now.
He fell victim to BG. And
Me?
what I'll say is this. BG, what's your biggest complaint with PlayStation right now?
No multiplayer games.
So my man thought he could fill in that void with an exclusive Sony deal, a contract, and to fill that void. Boy, was he mistaken.
Yeah. So what he said exactly was, Gears fans, I adore all of you, and I truly appreciate your support over the years, meeting so many of you in person, hell, the tattoos, all of it. However, if Microsoft and the coalition hasn't contacted me yet, he put in parentheses, they have my info. This man is practically begging. They have my info to consult. It's not going to happen if they don't call me. It is what it is. He want that job bad.
That's
Yo.
olive branch.
Bruh.
They acting like they don't know him, man.
I mean, I feel sorry for a little bit, like, because soon as that shit happened, soon as Rod got the new job, that dude went on Twitter quick. He was like, "Oh, there's an opening," because Rod Ferguson, he obviously went to Blizzard, and that's when Cliffy started. Oh yeah, I will go back to Gears and all this other crap and stuff. But nah, this is what happened. Like, I don't know if you guys remember all like the controversy. I can't even say controversy. Wow, around Lawbreakers when it was releasing as a PlayStation exclusive. He was getting into arguments with Xbox.
Yeah.
About his why it's not coming to Xbox and whatnot. And then it didn't help his case when that game like it bombed like bad. But nah, it just like it sucks to see like somebody like ask for, like, I can see if that was one of us like asking for like a job in that way. It's just very, very weird because that's Cliffy B. Like,
because he's asking, he is like he's asking to, can he get invited into his former home? Like, the man created the game and now he's begging to be a part of it again. It's like, what's his name would never go down like this.
David
Jaffe. Like, he would never go down like he would curse God of War before he asked Sony for another job.
You know what this situation reminds me of? I'm gonna tell you a quick 2-minute story. One of my friend's boys was dating this chick, 5'11", tall ass blonde girl, sexy as fuck. think she out of college, she was getting recruited by Google and IBM to like make like $1 million. Like this chick was like the LeBron James in like the technological field. Perfect woman making $1 million. Imagine making $1 million not for playing a sport or just being smart. My man had this girl, right? She wanted to get married. He was like, "Oh, I'm dating you right now. I'm hot shit." Nah, he wanted to cheat on her and do some other fuck shit and act like he's too good.
Wow.
Yep. But now that she gone done her own thing and she didn't. Oh, now he's like, "Oh, sorry. Can we get back together?" And I didn't really mean it. Yo, my boy's dad is like, "You are a fucking idiot. This chick was making $1 million out of college, and you didn't want to get married." He was looking at his own daughter. He's like, "I'd have my own daughter marry her. Go ahead and turn gay, honey. She's making $1 million. You'll be good."
You didn't talk to him or nothing?
We laughed at him.
Oh,
good for us.
I mean, like, I'm like, come on, man. Like, you might be young, but like, a girl like that don't come around often. I'm sorry.
Good friends.
Even I would hang up my jersey for that.
Hang up this guy.
Jack, you telling me there's some 5'11" chick making $1 million out of college?
Oh, you
Jack
already know
put a
about
ring
that.
on it?
Yeah, you wilding for that shit.
You gonna tell me, nah, I'm good. I can find better.
Oh yeah, that
He was wilding on that one.
That gonna make sure that girl get him pregnant.
Get him pregnant.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Hell, I can't remember for me.
You heard the way I said it. Jack gonna poke a hole in the guy that she like. Yo, you already know Jack.
Like, I meant to tell you I'm pregnant. This shit
paying Jack child support.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Man. Like, this is what happens when some people, men included, get such a good thing. They let the ego get to their heads. They think, "Oh, I struck gold once. I'll be able to strike gold again." Sometimes you got to realize you're just not a G. You're just vanilla ice. You had one good hit, man. But you keep thinking you thinking you like Drake that or somebody. You can just keep coming out with album after album hit. No. Sometimes you are just vanilla ice, and you need, once the iron is hot, you just need to settle down and stay in your lane. And hey, look at Nintendo. They ain't trying anything different. They've been doing that same shit since day one because they know.
Facts.
Yeah.
They're not trying to make mature games and everything like that. They are in their lane. And sometimes people don't understand what their lane is.
Facts.
And yes, that guy is the biggest dumbass I've ever met in my life. And every time I talk to him, I see him like we go down to the beach, I just like shake my head. I'm like, bruh, like your wife should be flying us around the world right now. Like we should be going to like Tokyo, Hong Kong, Japan, and anywhere we want on your wife's $1 million salary. But you had to fuck it up.
What the fuck was going through his mind when he was like, you know what? I think I want to cheat today. Like, why?
I have no idea. Like we ask him that all the time. Like, bruh.
All right. Some smaller news. We don't gotta get too deep into it, but Spiderman is now available on PlayStation Now.
Jack, you know what that means.
But yeah, people were acting like it was on PC.
It's coming.
What kind of is if it's on PlayStation Now? So.
Yeah, Just Cause 4 is free on the Epic Game Store. Anybody who wants to play that. Streets of Rage 4 is getting the release date leaked. It's supposed to be coming out later this month, late in April.
Does that game have crossplay?
Don't know.
Why did that take so long to come out?
Yeah, when did they announce that game? It feels like it's been forever since they announced it.
Well, I'm assuming it had to do with all the music they wanted to put into it and the corona and everything. And they added a whole bunch of stuff. They added all the old characters from all the old games, kind of like the Streets of Rage 5 remake they made, which was amazing. Download it for free. But they added in all the old characters, so you can use any old character and any version of any old character in the games. They've even updated them to have like runs and new moves. It's 4-player. You can play 4-player. It's got online. They have added in the original soundtracks from all the games, new music, remixed soundtracks, custom soundtracks, and you can rearrange any of the soundtracks from any of the games into your game as well.
Yeah, it seems to be a really good game, from looking at the gameplay and also I got to watch some of it at PAX East. Oh, it looks really good.
I'm getting it day one. Who's trying to play that with me online and stream that?
I told Jack he should buy it.
I played it at PAX and I interviewed a developer. It was fucking awesome.
But Jack's getting it for that dumb station.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me see if this says crossplay.
All
I
right.
doubt
Probably not.
it. Jimmy, you getting it on PlayStation or PC?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Nah, Steam, dog.
Okay, we're gonna play this.
All right.
We gotta get 2 more people though.
Man, Jack, you need to get a PC, man.
I
Unless you're gonna play on that laptop.
I call Axel though.
Hold on, this is a Weapon Wheel stream? Is the people donating for this?
Oh,
Somebody buy me the game on Steam, yo. Put a little bit extra on
The
top.
drink gonna be like $30 though.
Weapon Wheel game night. You know what I mean?
So-
Hey, if they want it.
I mean, look, the funny thing is,
I'm down.
we tell them if they get 1,000 likes, we will do a stream for them for free.
Me, BG, who else? Jimmy. We should all get a couple of donations from the audience. And
Well, y'all still got to stream They Bleed Pixels. I'm still waiting.
I streamed it before.
Oh yeah, you did, but the other 3 didn't.
They
I
did
know
not.
that game. I know that game will suck the life out of Smooth.
That's a
Yo.
pretty good game, actually. I kind of like
Pause.
it.
like Smooth. You thought Ori was hard? Oh, I'm almost guaranteeing one broken controller when he plays this game.
No, that shit was harder
You beat
than
it?
Oreo.
I beat it. And believe me, even for a Mega Man god, that game was hard. Jack, what'd you think about that difficulty?
It was it was hard.
Well, like at some points, I was almost tempted to go to BG Facts.
Oh man.
Oh man, you do something once in life and get cursed forever for it. Hate to see it.
Well, that's normally what happens when my friend did something once, and yes, he will be cursed for life too.
Oh well. All right. So moving on. Let's talk about let's get the other small stuff out the way. Mafia 3 is getting a definitive edition.
Why?
Asking for that.
Oh man.
Did that game get DLC?
Yes.
Okay.
It had a season
Yeah.
pass.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, there's a rumored definitive edition.
Is it coming to Switch?
I thought they were remastering the first one. I didn't know they were.
2. I heard 2 was getting a
Is it
remaster.
coming to Switch?
We don't know.
That it's not definitive.
Right. And according to this information, the Ghost of Tsushima won't have waypoints. This is not a big deal to us, but it won't have waypoints telling you where to go. Believe it or not, some people were actually upset about this.
That's old though.
Is this
Didn't
an
they say that,
open world
last
game?
year?
It's pretty open. I'm not gonna say open world, but it's an open game.
It's an open game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but no waypoints.
No waypoints telling you exactly where you're supposed to go, apparently.
Well, that's garbage.
For what game?
For Ghost of Tsushima.
Why do you need waypoints, Smooth?
Exactly.
I need to know where the fuck to go.
There's this thing called exploring.
Yeah, but no. This is the reason why I don't play fucking games where you get lost. I want to do point A, point B.
You don't play
let's get it done.
Metroidvanias.
No, don't like what's nah.
So
It's
you-
probably something they forgot to put in the game and they're trying to early damage control.
So you
How you forget to put waypoints in the game?
So you need somebody to hold your hand then.
Nah, I just need somebody to show me where to go.
Hey, Smooth crazy as hell.
This is
They forgot to
wild.
put it in the game.
I need waypoints. Waypoints are typically a measure of bad game design. Take case in point, Halo Combat Evolved.
Nah, no, it's not. You
Yes, it is.
That is blasphemous talk right
You
there.
told to go somewhere, right? And you're in this big ass world. I was like, okay, how do I get here? Because I obviously never been here before. You know, the game didn't come with a map. So what you do is
Who ain't got waypoints?
So here's the explanation they gave on how you're supposed to find your way across the world, right? It's pretty much what you do in real life, honestly. They said they're getting rid of waypoints and they want you to use the landmarks and the knowledge of the world.
kiss
Yeah,
my ass.
so, like,
That game's about to be garbage, yo. Who
nah,
wants
it's
to,
supposedly.
is the shit? Is the waypoints going to be in? Is the shit going to be in English? Is it going to be in English?
Well, look, I'm
Yeah.
sure what
The
you'll
trailers
get.
are in
what you'll be able to do, obviously, I'm sure, is pull out the map and make your own waypoint. Like, I want to go here, I want to go there, but they're not going to tell you directly where to go.
That's
And
stupid,
again,
yo.
and again, back to what I was saying about Halo Combat Evolve, the developers even admitted that they made waypoints.
See, this is the problem. See, I couldn't be
Bro.
disabled. I couldn't be disabled playing PlayStation games, bro.
I'm talking, and you just like directly interrupted me.
My bad, bro.
He was
Go
talking
ahead.
about being disabled, but carry on.
But what I was saying is the developers of Halo Combat Evolved, so they had to put in waypoints because the campaign wasn't designed well. People would get lost because to pad the game, they had to keep repasting and copying things. It wasn't completely, they didn't have enough time to make the game. So they admitted that the campaign had sloppy game design and level design, so they had to have waypoints.
And I don't know if I'm the only person like this, but like, if I know how to get somewhere, like I know how to drive somewhere, but I can't tell anybody else how to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just know how to get there, whether it's landmarks, whether it's I just know the streets. But
Yep,
I
I'm
can't
exactly
tell nobody
like
else
that
how to
too.
do it.
Go ahead, Smooth. Floor is yours.
You said what?
Floor is yours.
No, I'm just saying I couldn't be a disabled dude playing a PlayStation game. They're gonna keep doing this fuck shit. Like, how do you not have?
disabled.
But you a disabled dude playing Xbox games?
Yeah, are you?
Not the same. No, because they're accessibility friendly. Like, it's very accessible.
You know, this whole disability angle.
No, I'm just saying. No, but how do you not put? Oh, what's wrong with waypoints? I don't want to hear nobody say get good and none of that bullshit.
No, get
how do
good.
you not put a waypoint in the game?
Enjoy the
That's just
game.
as dumb. That is just as dumb as Mafia 3 where they didn't have fast travel. Like, how the fuck? Like, how in the open world game?
This whole accessibility thing's really got me fucked up. These people are like, oh, but what about if I'm handicapped? I'm like, can you drive a car? Yes. Shut up then. You can
It's
drive
not the same, bro.
You can drive a car. You can play a video game.
All right, so you're gonna start the game, right? It's some crazy ass cinematic that features a tutorial, right? So I guess that's the only help you're gonna get, right? It's a tutorial.
Have you
and then
played
they're gonna
any-
be like, "Oh, kill King Kong Mashun," right? And I'm like, "Okay, I gotta go kill King Kong Mashun. How do I get there? So I'm supposed to sit there, hop on a horse or some shit, or swing my sword at trees and shit, hoping to find a clue on how to get there? That's crazy."
Okay, here, I'll explain it to you right now because I just finished The Legend of Heroes, right? You don't get any waypoints. You're a detective. You have to follow your book and the missions that they give you. They say, hey, we need you to go to Tegram Village and go to the inn and talk to the owner. You know what you do, Smooth? You pull up your map and you say, I'm in West Village.
Okay.
Tegram Village is east of West Village. What direction should you go, Smooth?
I'm bad with directions.
Oh
So
my
hopefully, here's the problem. Here's the other problem, right? That's good if you're a cop. He's a fucking samurai. Like,
Have you played any Final Fantasy Dragon Quest or any game where it says, like, your next thing, oh, we need to find this village or we need to go to this cave. Where's this cave located? Oh, this cave is located north of town. So where should you go, Smooth?
I would go north of town, but what
There
if I
you
can't
go.
tell which direction is north? The game got like
What direction is north? Oh my god, they're gonna give you a compass at least, Smooth.
if you go, you got all the time to put a compass in the game. Put a
Smooth, they're not gonna tell you to look at the sun and figure out what direction is north. Look at the sun, the reflection, and use your protract. Like, Smooth, this is even.
I'm sure they're gonna give you like a sense of where to go. They may not pinpoint it, but
Yeah.
Smooth, they're gonna be like, oh, it's over there by the cherry blossoms or something. In that by the house by the cherry blossom, go head that way. They're gonna guide you at least. They're just not gonna pinpoint it.
What? This is probably why they put damn freaking control speakers and microphones on DualShock 5. So Smooth's, where should I go? You should go north. Where's north? They're gonna have GPS DLC for this fool.
Jeez.
You know what? I wish they would have GPS DLC to see how many times Smooth would buy it.
We got in a conversation about this in Jack's Discord, and this got deep, right? How exactly do you know in real life? Like, how exactly do you know where north is from where you're standing?
My car tells me.
True north, like
In
true
real
north.
life?
Like in real life, how do you know where true north is or true west or anything? How do you know?
I follow the North Star, and if that's not available, depending on where I am, I go
really
based
know
off
where the
of-
North Star is
I
at?
go. I know where the North Star is at. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you look in the sky and you find a North Star, okay, that's north.
Were you like a
So-
Girl Scout or something?
Fuck no. No. What? No. Have you studied astrology or anything in school?
Who studies astrology though?
Astronomy.
Astrology.
Oh my God.
Astrology.
You're gonna want to say astronomy.
Astrology is definitely well. That's sexist. I ain't gonna say that. Never mind.
Yeah, who studies astronomy like
Astrology
that?
for niggas that listen to Drake. I'll say that.
Astronomy or astrology?
Y'all know the damn word. Astronomy. That one. But who
Astronomy.
knows that? Because I brought it up because it's like, okay, right? Like you somebody will give you directions and they'll be like, oh, you know, if you need to go here, you know, go 3 blocks and go west.
That's why this dude's first game system must have been an Xbox, because Smooth, there's been 50, there's almost 100 RPGs, open world RPGs on original PlayStation. None of them have waypoints, and some of those games are timeless classics, considered the best games of all time.
Probably the reason why I didn't have a PlayStation 1.
Because you're not good at games.
No.
RPG. Did Final Fantasy VII, the original, have waypoints?
No,
No.
Used to get
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 8, 9, 10.
It got real bad, especially when you were in the open world part of Final Fantasy VII, and you needed to find like a little island that had the best material in it.
Yeah.
You just had to find it. You just had to
And
look.
while you were searching, you were getting jumped by random battles.
Oh yeah, all day.
But you know what the craziest thing is? I think the first Final Fantasy to have waypoints was the one that didn't even need them. Final Fantasy 13, the Endless Hallway. Like, there's only one way to go. Why do I need waypoints?
Hey man,
Oh
Smooth is obviously upset about it though.
And,
No, I'm
and
just saying, those are just dumb things. Like no waypoint. Here's the thing. I understand there's games that don't need waypoints, but if you're gonna even pretend to be open world or hub world and you're gonna have objectives all over the fucking place, give me a waypoint. It's not because it's more so. It's like, okay, like it brings like order. I don't want to go looking for shit. I just want to do the damn job.
part of playing games is exploring the world and the trials and tribulations along the way.
Nobody has that much time.
People
Like,
do.
nah, bro.
What?
No. Nobody got all that time to be doing that shit, bro. Like, no. All right, I open the game. Great presentation. The game's gonna be gorgeous, but I don't want to go looking for shit. Just get me into the fucking fight.
And this
Wow,
is
you
why
must hate side missions of games.
this is why people have a problem with the lessening of difficulty and the casualization of games, because they directly impact games.
Bro, here's the thing. I don't, like, what's wrong with shit? Game. What's wrong with a waypoint? They don't make the
Bro,
game easier. It just keep us on track.
To have waypoints and stuff completely like eliminates exploration, finding secret areas.
So what? So what? If the developer doesn't want you to explore, they won't give you or they'll give you a waypoint. If they do, they won't put it in there. Like, what does it matter if people are putting them in or not? Like, the developer
We just explained why.
But I just don't subscribe to that idea. It just seems silly. Like, the developer will put it in what they put in there, and that's their vision. Like, we play through their vision.
Yeah, I'm saying they want to put it in there, that's fine. But to say that they need to put it in there,
Ron, you want me to explore your damn world? Put a waypoint and put objectives all over.
No,
the place.
you're not
And
exploring
I'll
them.
try to complete the.
You want to
the-
use game?
Nah, man.
You know what? But you know what the problem with that is? If I give you a world and I give you waypoints, guess what, Smooth? You're not exploring. You're going where I tell you to go. That is not exploring. You are simply going in a linear path that I tell you to go.
What's funny is, like, any game that gives me a waypoint and tells me where to go, I always think I'm like being set up to miss items, so I always go the opposite way. I don't know if I'm the only one that does that.
No,
Like,
I do that
Yeah, I do
sometimes.
that too.
I do that too. I do that
Most
too.
of
I'm
them
like,
turn
I
around.
do not trust developers at all. I'm like, you're telling me to go this
You
way
always got to go
because-
the wrong way first.
Yeah, always go the wrong. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not the only
Smooth,
one that does that.
sometimes I wonder why you play games. Like, you don't play games that challenge you. You don't play games to explore. It's like you literally want to play games at the easiest level just to get through them, just to say you beat it.
Well, not true. And as a kid, every game that I played was fucking difficult. So I got past that bullshit. So now
they weren't
adult,
difficult. You were just trash.
No. Like, no. I like fucking. I used to play games to tears. I've like 3 broken fucking
Tears,
Nintendos.
okay.
Like
3 broken Nintendos.
Wait,
Oh god.
so.
Well,
so
like I
here's the thing.
said, trash.
Nah, it's not about being trash. Some games are, and games back then were just hard just because.
Like, name me some of these games.
I don't know a lot. Like these games, games
No.
like.
If a game made you cry and
for
scarred
example,
you that
for
much,
example,
you have to
like
remember.
I struggle with games like fucking like Punch Out. Like I punched a hole in my
God.
Nintendo before because of that shit.
God.
Punch Out was on the list, definitely.
What else?
You're talking about Super Punch Out, though, aren't you?
I don't know.
I hope not.
Nah, it was.
I would be talking about Mike Tyson.
Nah, the one with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson.
Okay.
That shit. Like oh damn, I'm just trying to think of the games that like. And when games were back then, because I didn't keep a collection of games. I had like 1 or 2 games. I just went months without playing my Nintendo until my mom could get me a new game or until I could find a way to beat the game I couldn't beat. So now, in terms of like just beating games, like here's the thing: I've beaten games that on its hardest difficulty. I've beaten tough games. However, me wanting a waypoint is just more so if you're gonna have this huge game where it's just open, right, and you have missions, especially if you have missions where I have to go travel places, I think it's just right. And fuck, it's my hold on. This is because I'm getting irritated thinking about it. It's my time, my valuable time.
It's not your game.
You put it there for me to buy.
Yeah, and it's your choice whether you buy it or not.
Yeah, but we don't know how exactly how it's gonna play out. I mean,
Exactly. Look,
I'll tell you this. The last open world game to not have a damn fast travel, it was a problem. So if you're gonna put an open, like I don't understand. Like, all right, let's say
they're not gonna make a game where you get lost and you can't find. You were able to beat Bloodborne, and you know that brings up a good point, right?
Oh, the game ain't got no waypoints.
Did you see who watched Smooth play Bloodborne?
Everybody.
Did you see the excitement and the satisfaction and the joy after every boss this man beat, and when he finally finished the game, and that the satisfaction, like the enjoyment? He has never had that experience with any Xbox game. Not one.
Hey, man.
This man was on the verge of crying tears of joy beating those bosses and finally overcoming those challenges. And that's what gaming should be about. He has never had that feeling in the history of Xbox.
I had that feeling beating Cuphead and Sekiro. And Bloodborne. All right, so that has nothing to do with it. Just because I'm challenging.
Exactly. You never had that feeling with a Gears or a Halo.
Here's the thing: I'm not going to be super excited for finding a place because I didn't have a map. I'm just sorry. This is just not going to happen. Like waypoints belong in open world games or hub world games, just like fast travel belongs in those games. Especially if you're going to make the world dumb big and nobody wants.
We don't even know how big
40
this
minutes,
going to be.
Real life minutes driving from one end to the other.
I mean, we got that with Breath in the Wild, and it turned out fine. Like they just give you a general direction to go, and they just drop you in the world, and then you go wherever, you know. Yeah. And it turned out fine.
Smooth, did you beat that game?
I turned out dropping that game.
Exactly.
Ooh, it's not playing that joint. You already know.
But nobody was complaining on like, oh, I don't know where to go, or you know.
And you know, I had a ton of complaints about that game, and when I think about it, which way to go was never one. Not once.
All right. So yeah, Smooth will be all right. So moving on to the next topic, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Fire.
Definitely fire. So just to get an idea of who played it, of course, me, Chris. Anybody else?
Waiting for the PC version.
My copy not here yet.
Okay. Ghost, did you play?
Didn't, man. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine. I was just trying to check. So, yeah, it's pretty much a conversation between me and Chris. But listen, this game is definitely fire. All right, so let me just, I guess, we could talk about the pros and the cons, but like as far as a game that's in the conversation about the game being in parts and people saying, "Oh, it's a ripoff, it's not worth it." To me, the people are missing the point. It's not about if a game is in parts or not, or if it's incomplete. I think that's completely irrelevant. All I think that matters is as long as you feel that you got your money's worth for for the content you were given, that's all that matters. Like it doesn't matter if it's incomplete or not, because I'm 31 hours in now. I just looked at the clock. I'm 31 hours into this game, right?
Farther than me.
I've never played a game, well, not never, but I can't tell you the last time I played a game like for 7 hours each day since it's come out. And like I don't understand the logic of people saying it's not worth it. It's not complete, which yeah, it's not complete, but it's still a better experience than some complete games we've had. And if your point is about like quantity, like bro, there's people that pay $45 that just paid $45 to $60 for Resident Evil 3 Remake. That was 6 hours. So you mean to tell me just because that game is complete, it's a complete 6 hours. I'm 31 hours in and I'm on chapter 13. There's 18 chapters. I got 30 hours in the game already. By the time I beat it, it's probably gonna be like maybe 45 hours. So if you're telling me I paid, paying $60 for a game that gave me 45 hours is not worth it, bro, it's really about as long as you feel like you enjoyed it, that's all that matters. So I just don't get people's whole logic about like, would I rather this game be complete? Of course. The only time this game being incomplete is gonna bother me is probably when I beat it, because I'm probably gonna want more. That's the only time it's probably gonna be a problem. And everybody who's played the game, so everybody who's actually played this game, nobody's complained. Nobody. It's only the people who haven't played it,
who haven't played the game. Yep.
That are like, oh, you're getting ripped off.
Yeah, and the whole thing about the my bad, I don't mean to cut you off, but the whole thing about this game. Okay, first of all, this is not a 1-to-1 remake. This is a complete reimagining.
That's what a remake is.
Right? Yeah, they have. Well, you have stuff like Shadow of the Colossus remake.
That's a remaster,
which is like 1-to-1. Yeah, but they redid all the assets, so they consider it, a remake. But that's more 1-to-1. But this one is, they completely took the Midgard portion and made it into its own full standalone game. So the story of part 1, it's about Avalanche taking on the Shinra Electric Power Company, and they hire Cloud as a mercenary who's an ex-soldier, right, to help them with these missions of them blowing up the reactors so they can, stop sucking the life from the planet. You know what I mean? But so that right there, that alone, that's a whole story within itself. So you're not getting like, the whole thing was like, yeah, the overall story, the bigger overall story is incomplete and being done in parts. But to me, when somebody says a game is incomplete, I look at a game like Anthem or like Fallout 76. Those are incomplete games. This game has a beginning, middle, and an end. And from what I've heard, I haven't gotten to the end. See, I'm only in chapter 9, and I'm about 19 hours, and there's 18 chapters, so I'm like halfway. You know what I mean? But
and let's just clarify, because I know people are going to think that it's just filler. It's not just filler. Like, it is a small portion of it. Like, they give you some side missions, go find some lost kids. Absolutely, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit filler, right? But for the most part,
the Witcher get the frying pan.
Yeah, like there are those type of things, but for the most part, it's relevant things that add to the weight of the story. For example, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a character in the game that, in the original game, is just a supporting character. You don't really learn much about them. In this game, you get to learn their background, what they did before they was a part of this group, their parents, and all of this stuff adds to the weight of the game. So this part of the game was, in the original, was like maybe 5-6 hours. In this game, it's literally like 30 to 40 hours. It's the equivalent. and you don't really ever feel like it's just filler. It never feels like just, oh, they're just padding the game. It feels necessary, and it adds a lot of logic that the first game lacked, right? So that's what people need to understand.
And the whole thing with like the side missions, the side quests or the odd jobs or what they call them in the game, that adds more to the story and the lore about Cloud being a mercenary for hire. And when you do these missions for these people, your name starts to get out there around town. So when you're walking around town, you start to hear, hey, that's that mercenary guy that took care of, that took care of those wyverns, or you know what I mean. And you start to get more jobs out of it. And plus, each of the side missions, they give you a substantial reward, especially like when you do the battle intels with Chadley. He gives you like brand new materials that are very useful. Like there hasn't been one material that I've gotten from him that's like not useful. Like all of them have been like real useful. You know what I mean? And then the combat is just fire. Like I'm super surprised and impressed with how they managed to completely stay faithful to the material system in the original, and how much combinations and different tactics. And
just to get a little bit into the gameplay, let's first of all summons. So
I got a quick question about this game.
Good.
What is the frame rate?
It's 30.
I'll be
with them textures too. That's crazy.
Yeah. So.
We can talk about that.
Yeah. So we gonna talk about all of that. So yeah, in the demo it was unlocked, which made me feel very good about the game. It wasn't unlocked 60, but it was unlocked hovering between like 40 and 50. I never watched the Digital Foundry video.
30. Huh? No, Digital Foundry said it was a lock 30 from start to finish. Like it didn't drop.
But I never watched the video
on the demo.
No.
Yeah, on the demo.
The demo was locked 30. I don't think it was locked 30.
No, go watch the Digital Foundry. It never dropped one frame. Like it didn't even go down to 29. Like the entire demo was locked 30 frames per second. I'm pretty sure it was.
I think they were talking about the full game. I'll check because when I played the demo, I was like, oh, this is unlocked. And then when I booted up the real game, I'm like, why does the frame rate look like this? It's the first thing I noticed, and I feel like I trust my eyes, but maybe I was tripping. But
no, it looks locked 30.
The demo?
It was in the demo. Yep.
Maybe I'm tripping.
Looking at the demo, Bond. Look at the demo from Digital Foundry.
Maybe I'm tripping then.
You sound like dealer right now,
bro. I swear that joint was unlocked during the demo, bro. I swear that joint was unlocked. But either way, you really sounded like dealer. Either way, I knew it wasn't a 60, but it felt unlocked. But either way, getting into some of the gameplay, there's obviously major gameplay changes that they had to do going from turn-based to action, right? So for one thing, the way summons work, summons can only be summoned in boss fights. You can't bring them out
or tougher enemies, because I don't know, BG. I don't know if you pre-order the game, but you do get
deluxe
like pre-order summons.
Yeah, I did.
Like the chocobo, like the chocobo chick and stuff like that. But it's not only in the bosses. Sometimes when you fight like more tougher enemies that aren't
designated areas.
Yeah.
So
but it's a lot more than 15, because 15 you only summon like twice in that game, which is ridiculous.
So the summons are crazy though, right? But like you can understand why they only made it in boss fights or designated areas. And you can't like just call them out for every little measly enemy, but the summons are still cool. And to get summons, besides the first one, Ifrit, they just give that to you to start you off. But the other summons, you have to fight them first. They've done that in other Final Fantasy games. Yes. In the summons like Shiva and the fat chocobo, you have to fight them first to get them, so that's cool.
The fat chocobo.
There's 3 chocobo summons in this one. There's a chocobo chick, which is the small one, and then there's the chocobo mog or the chocobo muga, which is in the original FF7, and then there's like this big fat chocobo. He looks like Snorlax, but like a chocobo version.
What I didn't like is literally everything in this game costs an ATB bar, even to make your summon do special moves. So you have to get your summon in the first place, of course, which takes time. And then once you get your summon, it does some attacks on its own, but to command it to do attacks, it takes an ATB bar. Some moves take 2 ATB bars on top of like their abilities. The characters' regular abilities take an ATB bars. Items take ATB bars. Everything takes an ATB bar in this game. I disagree with items. I feel like items shouldn't have, but like everything in this game does, including like making summons do their special moves. But they're really cool. Materia like maxes out really quick. I don't know if any like did you feel that way?
No, not really, because there's some still materials. I mean, I guess it depends because there's some that are like 1 level, then 2 level, then 3 levels.
Well, the basic ones like ice, fire, lightning. I feel like
if you constantly have them, if you constantly use them, like I constantly switch them up because when I'm fighting different enemies, you got to use different materials to exploit their weaknesses. So maybe that's why it's taking it longer for me. But you also farm a lot too, more than I do, BG. So.
But bro, like I feel like I didn't have like the final level of like most of the elemental materia till like maybe the end of the second disc or the beginning of the third. Maybe my memory is a little bit fuzzy, but like I had all of those like before even half of this game. I had it maxed out, and I'm like, damn, that was quick.
Bro, I saw you with Thungaga.
Yeah.
Like the maximum level Thunder spell, like early into the game, like stream 2, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's why I was like, yo, why does this that was I don't think I did any farming at that point. Like I haven't done that much farming in this game, just so people know. I farmed like maybe 7 levels, and I think I had the maximum Thunder before I even farmed. I'm like, yo, they just handed this joint out.
Maybe because I constantly switch out my materia, that's probably why it's taking. Because I didn't feel like it took that fast, but I'm always switching on the fly to like adjust my tactics.
Yeah. The voice acting is cool. I didn't notice till someone told me Cloud's voice is Asher from, I don't know if any of y'all watch All American.
No.
Oh, you should watch that. It's a good show.
He's like Teen Wolf.
And then after somebody told me, I'm like, yo, that's definitely him.
I heard fucking Badger from Breaking Bad on there.
That's Wedge.
Yeah, that's Wedge. Yep, this is the same guy.
Yeah, that's
Wedge.
Wedge.
I was like, yeah, that's like Badger. That's shit crazy.
Yeah, so that's Wedge. The English voices usually out, in a game like this, I would switch to the Japanese voices, but the English voices aren't bad. I like most of them.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think every cast is perfect. Like Barrett, Tifa, Eric. I think the English voice actors, they all sound really good.
Yeah, you can upgrade your weapons in this game also. That's new. So like in the original game.
In the original game, as soon as you find a better weapon, then your previous weapon is
useless.
Like no longer good.
Yeah, it's useless.
Like it completely useless unless it has something like triple materia growth or something like that when you farm for like to try to birth new materia.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that in this game, like, because I already have it in my mind right now that whoever the last boss is, which I don't know, but the final boss, I'm gonna fight with the Buster Sword. You know what I mean? Just to keep it within the story.
And you also can't sell your weapons once you get new ones because each weapon has a special ability, right? Well, you can sell them eventually. Well, but it's probably a bad idea. You shouldn't, because each weapon has a new ability, but you can master the new ability but if you keep using it, and then even when you switch weapons, you keep that ability. So that's actually what I'm doing right now. I've been switching between.
Why not master it and then sell it?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, you could sell it at the end after you master the weapon's ability, but each weapon still has different stats. Like one is not just like the Buster Sword isn't just the weakest weapon you get, even if you get 5 after it. It's not just the weakest thing anymore, because you can improve the weapon stats, because you get SP. You get SP in the game when you level up, and that's strictly to upgrade your weapons, and the buffs can be extra MP, HP, extra materia slot. It's a bunch of stuff to upgrade your weapons, so none of the weapons are ever useless.
Yeah, like depending on your build, like some weapons are better. Like if you're gonna do like more like magic and like materia based attacks, then you might put on weapons that caters more towards having magic boost and buff boost and stuff like that, because each weapon has like, well, from what I've seen so far, I don't know if there's more, but each weapon has 4 different sphere grids, and each sphere grid has like 5 different upgrades. You know what I mean? And like you can upgrade like your HP for that weapon, so you can add like plus 200 HP or plus 8 attack for that specific weapon. So when you put it on, you're gonna have those bonuses and stat boosts. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But when you switch them out for another weapon, it's gonna take that away and add whatever the other weapon has. So it's
Yeah.
pretty diverse.
The game is just real fun. Like, it has a lot of depth to it. They've added depth to it. And like, let's talk about some of the cons, because there's clear cons, right? So
Yeah.
the visuals, the range in the visuals is something I've never
crazy.
seen. Is
Yeah.
never something I've never seen before. Like, when I mean range, you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
there's parts of this game that probably looks like some of the best visuals we've seen this gen. There's parts, and then there's parts that are the worst we've probably seen this gen. It literally
Yeah.
goes from the best to the worst, with certain things. Like, they always keep the character models consistent, but like certain things, like if you see a cup on a counter or a door, they literally have no texture, none. It's just nothing.
Yeah.
It's just a door with a
Yeah.
blank texture. Okay, but so you'll see a door with a blank texture, and then you'll go to a scene. I don't know how many people have seen. Look up Final Fantasy Advent Children. It's a CGI Final Fantasy VII movie. It'll be that quality, like amazing quality that you've probably ever seen.
No, at some points it surpasses Advent Children in graphics. You know what I mean? At certain points, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It's definitely inconsistent. Like, it's only inconsistent when you get to like the open areas and the
Yeah.
slums. When you do like some of like the main missions that are more linear, right? And it's just like a complete like one-way structure. The game looks absolutely amazing. It's one of the best looking games.
Yeah.
But like when you get like the slums, like Sector 7 or Sector 5, you'll see like literally like on the ground, you'll see textures that looks good, and then right next to it, there's like a whole circle of like unloaded texture, and it's like patches all over the ground and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know what that is. Some people saying it's a texture bug. Hopefully they patch it, but yeah, it's definitely that's definitely one of the. To me, it doesn't take away from the overall experience, but it's definitely a noticeable con.
Yeah. Somebody was like saying, "Oh, that's a shout out to the PS1 version." I ain't gonna lie, it looks like it, bro. Like, it'd be looking bad out here, but that's not. I wouldn't say that's most of the game. That's some, and I would say most games, the environment in most games are usually the worst looking part of the game. Like in most games, because they always focus on like the character models and the main things in your view. Like, even when I play games like Resident Evil like 3 that just came out, I think some people don't really look at other things other than like the main character and stuff right in front of them. But like, I look at the cop cars in the environment, the buildings, like those don't look great in Resident Evil 3. And I hate to bring it up again, like Last of Us, right? Because I always get into arguments with people about how good Last of Us looks, and I tell people all the time, the environment in The Last of Us looks horrible. Look at something besides Joel or Ellie. Look at a building, look at a car. It looks terrible, but people don't notice that. And that's how it is in Final Fantasy VII. Like, yeah, the environment and other stuff looks really bad in some parts, not all the parts. You get to the slums, environment and the slums look bad. You go to another part of the game, the environment looks good. So it's just very inconsistent.
Yeah, but that's really like the only like the texture issues. That's really like the only like technical fallacy in the game, because everything else, like the gameplay, like the game is not buggy. You know what I mean? Everything works smooth. The gameplay works smooth. The enemies, they animate how they're supposed to animate. The spells come out just fine. So that's really like the only technical issue is those textures, and it is noticeable. I hope they do patch it.
Yeah. The aerial combat is bad. They need to fix that on the next part really badly. Yeah. So the way the aerial combat works is like, if there's an enemy in the air, if you attack, they'll just automatically throw you in the air, right? But it's bad because let's say that enemy even moves like a centimeter away from you, you'll just be missing every swing, and your character doesn't stay in the air, like doesn't just stay in the air. They fall back down, right? After like maybe 3 swings. Yeah. Like Cloud does like 3 swings and he falls back down. So you'll have to keep doing it over and over again constantly, and it's just not good aerial combat. That's something
Why not
they
just
didn't.
have Barrett shoot it?
Because there's some parts of the game you don't have Barrett.
Yeah.
You know how the first disc is. Like that's something I hate about the first disc is they constantly take you away from the characters you want to use, because when Cloud gets separated from them, and there's a lot of parts like that. You know, like especially in this game, like in the original game, you don't have Barrett for like maybe an hour and a half. In this game, you don't have Barrett for like 10 hours or some shit.
So if the enemy is flying, you have Barrett. He just shoots him. He doesn't do anything aerial or anything.
No, Barrett just shoots him.
Yeah, Barrett's long range, but you do have, whenever you don't have Barrett, you have Aerith, and she has long range attacks.
Yeah.
So you're always gonna have like.
I'm sorry, that's one character I could never stand.
Who, Aerith?
Oh, we're gonna get into that, man.
Girl with the
There's gonna be
goddamn
no,
pole.
nah.
Oh yeah, I was
no
talking
Aerith
about
slander.
it. Like I can't stand Aerith.
Nah.
Like her, I hate
No
her.
Aerith slander,
Bro,
please.
she is terrible as a combat character. Like as a support
No,
healing
she's
character,
not.
she's trash.
No, dude, she is okay. Aerith, she's the hardest character to use out of all of them.
She's useless.
Everybody else is pretty straight. No, she's not. If
Go
you know
ahead,
how
I'm
to
gonna tell
use
you
her
how she's
correctly,
useless. Go ahead.
Okay, she's probably the most powerful character in the game, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because one of her abilities that she has, makes her cast double magic or double spells, right? And then her triangle ability, which is the Tempest, if you charge it up all the way, right, and it hits the enemy, it'll have like some type of like crystal that forms, and it'll stay there. Then it'll explode and do a lot of damage to the enemy. So if you link that plus on top of your double spells, right? So if you do fire, she'll do fire twice, and then on top of that, if somebody else has the I forgot what that material is called. I think it's like the mimic or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do the same thing to the enemy, and then boom, like you have them stagger up real quickly. What chapter are you on, BG?
14.
14. Okay. So in chapter 9, and I'm not gonna spoil the boss, right? And I just beat this boss last night, and I was freaking that my hype levels was through the roof. It's the boss in the Coliseum, right? I don't want to say it because I don't. Yeah, bro. Aerith was my MVP of that fight. If I didn't have Aerith, dog, I would have died in that fight. So she's a lot hard. Like she's slower and like she's harder to dodge. But if you know how to use her right and use her abilities and like stack her spells up, I'm telling you, man, she's super powerful. I don't think she's useless at all.
So let me explain to you what, and it's not necessarily her fault why she's useless. It's the way Final Fantasy VII works is to me why she's useless. So in other RPGs, for example, there's healing and buffs that only like that support character can get or use, right? And there's usually like a lot more. In Final Fantasy VII, there's only a few, and like usually they're Aerith's they're like her limit breaks or special move. In other games, these are just the support character's regular magic attacks, right? So you have to depend on her special moves or Aerith's limit breaks to do that. That's one thing. And then what the main thing that makes her useless as a character is there are materia that you can give to every other character that does exactly what her special moves do. There's you can give somebody barrier. You can give somebody cure, which cures any debuffs. You can give somebody healing. Every single thing that Aerith does, you can just give it to a different character, and every character has better health, has better HP than she does. Like they can attack, they have higher attack, they have better defense, and they can do everything she does with materia. So I was like, why have her if I can have Barrett do the same thing she does, and Barrett has like 3200 HP.
Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Because Aerith, she has this one ability called prayer, right? Which I think it takes 2 ATB slots.
Yep, 2.
And and it heals the party, right? Now, you can do that with other characters if you put heal and then you link it up with the magnify, which is the new which is the new all material, which I'm super happy that they put that in because I thought all wasn't gonna be in this game. but they completely switch it and make it magnetized, right? But the thing with Aerith, her ability doesn't require any MP, right? It doesn't require any MP or anything like that. So instead of wasting those slots on other characters for like that healing plus magnify, you can have, you could put like HP up or something else that will help, or more spells that will help out the battle, while Aerith can take care of healing the party without everybody having to waste slots of materials for heals themselves. At least that's how I play it.
And let me tell you why that doesn't matter. The only reason that doesn't matter to me is because the amount of slots, at least that I have, is like I would have some empty slots available for materia anyway to use those things. So that doesn't necessarily bother me.
Well, I'm not at that part yet. I'm at the part where right now, like the most slots I have on my weapon, I have 3, and then I have a bangle that has 2, or I think I have one of the bangles that has 3.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I don't know how many. I'm sure it's like the original where you get like you can get like 6 or 7 slots.
Y'all gotta wrap this up. People are getting.
Bro, listen, this is amazing. I don't care what they get. This is
they going in about this.
This is a fire game, bro.
I think Jack just.
That's cool. Listen, when there's a game that y'all want to talk about that I ain't played, I'll let y'all have y'all time. Okay.
Y'all ready for that Last of Us Part 2 deep dive in 2022?
I'll let y'all have. I'll let y'all have that. Yeah, we can spend as much time as that.
Jack just went to the next dimension,
and we don't. And his thing, we don't have that much other topics. I'm gonna be real with you.
Oh no, we have one.
Oh well, there's that other one, but yeah. Besides that,
yes.
yeah, it's only
we got
Final
one
Fantasy.
more.
But
hey, Bond.